Hello there, programmers, and welcome back to another Python tutorial. I am your instructor, Chris Franklin, and so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about a piece of Python that tripped me up at first and definitely causes a lot of confusion to beginners and maybe even some intermediate programmers. They don't know exactly why we do this particular ritual in Python, so I wanted to dig into it a little bit today. So I've started up a new project in PyCharm, and I've called this project Dunder Name. Now, there's a reason for this. What we're going to talk about today is what gets put into the main.py function when you click the little button when you start a project that says auto-generate the main.py. So if you've run other Python tutorials or you've used this option, you've seen this line here before on line 13. If _name equals double underscore main. Now, the double underscore here, I like to use the unofficial name Dunder it's a lot easier to say than double underscore. So when you hear me say Dunder, that's what I'm talking about, are those double underscores. But what is this line here? What is this actually doing? Why do we need it? And is it actually useful? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay, so we can see here we have the default script that gets generated for us by PyCharm. I'm going to delete some of these comments in here. It'll just help clean things up, and I'm going to remove the breakpoint here. So now what we're left with is just a pretty simple script, right? And we can save this here. We have a function, print hi, that'll print hi and the name. And we're using the Python 3.6 syntax of inline embedding a string here, a variable into the string. And then we're using this Dunder Name equals Dunder Main, and we're calling the function hi PyCharm. So if we run this, we can see what happens here. It prints out hi PyCharm. Now we should know why this works. If you write any code here in this main file, so I can say print. And let's say that we're at root of main. Okay, so we're at the root of main here. And if I run this, you can see this prints out root of main, and then it calls the function hi PyCharm. So what is actually happening here is every Python file is a Python module. Okay, and so when the module gets loaded, we run all of the code at the root level of the module, and then right here we're checking the name of the module, and we're seeing that the name of the module is main. Now, why is it main? Fantastic question. It's actually easier to show what happens here than it is to try and explain it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new Python file at the root level, and I'm going to call this second.py. Okay. And inside of second.py, I am going to print, and I'm going to say root of second, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then I am going to, inside of my main, at the top here, I am going to import second, okay? So if I run this now, you'll see the first thing I do is I import second, and as I said, everything at the root level, when the module gets loaded, gets executed. So we're executing second, and we're saying the root of second, since that's at the base level. Now, let's make this a little bit more clear on what's happening. So if I take this if name equals main into second here, and I say if name equals main, and then I say print inside. Okay. If I save this, get rid of the squiggly lines there. So if I come back here and I execute this now, I can see root of second still gets called, and I can say root of main gets called, and I can say print hi with PyCharm gets called. You'll notice the thing that didn't get called is if name equals main. Now why? Why did that happen? Let's add a couple more print statements so that we can see. So we're going to print here inside of second what the name is, what this special Dunder name actually is. And then we'll do the same thing here inside of main. Name. Okay. Now if I execute this again, you'll be able to see root of second, we print out second, and then root of main, and we print out underscore double under main. Okay. So what we're seeing here is that name inside of second.py is set to the name of the module. Okay? So this Dunder name is set to the name of the module being loaded. Okay? And in the file that you execute, in the file that gets called by the main Python executable, the name of the module, since this is being loaded first, is Dunder Name. I hope that makes sense. It's once you actually grasp this, you can start to see why this block of code here actually works. And then what this allows us to do is we can wrap things inside of here and only call them if we're calling the main function. So let's do something fun here. Let's create another function. Def we're going to say test print, and then what we'll do is we'll say print test print. Okay. All right. And then inside of here, what we can do is we can say the second thing we do is we call test print. All right. Oh yeah, let's do test underscore print. Okay. Sorry. I don't like squiggly lines. So I now have a new function that I've created in here. I'm going to call it from inside the main of the second. And then over here, so when I run this right now, you'll see the second, because I'm running the main function, we never see test print show up anywhere, right? So if I come back over here, I can now, inside of this main function, for instance, I can say second.testPrint, and now I can access this module and the function inside of it, and when I call it, the last thing that will print out is the test print line. Okay, so I'm loading modules in, I'm seeing how all this works. Now, what happens if I decide inside of this if name equals main, I want to execute the second.py. If I execute this, you'll be able to see root of second prints, and the name now of root of second is underscore double under main, right? So we're inside of Dunder Name, and we test print. So you can now start to see what the benefits of executing using the Dunder Name. You can wrap things and only perform actions inside of the file if it's the file being executed as the root of an entire executable. Or you can export the functions and use them from other places, like we do here in main, where we say second.test_print. That's it. That's all there is to this topic. So hopefully you understand. If you don't, drop some comments in. I can try and post another video to help explain a little more, but this is the way that I came to understand it. So this is hopefully something that'll help you along in your path in learning Python. All right. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson. You guys have a great day. Bye.